Hi Rachel. Hi Alan. Can you all hear me? Hi Tony, enjoy your tea. Hi Thea, good afternoon. Hi Susan, hope you're well. Hi Alison, hi Dawn. Yes, can hear me, great. Hi Caroline. Okay, well it's not quite 5 o'clock yet, so we'll give other people a chance to get on. Alan's saying yes, you can hear me loud and clear, that's great. Hi Lois. Hi Vicky. Oh, hoovering again. Oh no, hoovering never seems to be a never-ending job. Hi Barbara. Good afternoon Sandra. Good afternoon Jenny. So Jenny says, good afternoon Ashley, I was about to say can't hear you, then I turned my volume up. Ah, great. That's the kind of thing I do. What have you all been up to today so far? I know it's different times of the day or evening or morning where we all are. Hi Ellen from Yorkshire. Hope you're okay. Hi Tracy. So Tracy Falconer is saying, hello, I'm a first time visitor live but watch your videos all the time. Oh well, welcome. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. Alison's saying, getting over cramp in my back. Oh no. Hi Barbara. Got you on big TV today. Oh dear. Alan's done absolutely nothing. Ellen's been watching her Chanda. Have you bought anything, Ellen? Marcia's saying yay on time. Brilliant. Oh dear. Tony's crocheting a blanket for my granddaughter that's due at the end of the month. Oh, lovely. Hi Anna in Nova Scotia. You're working on masks. Okay, well I've been messing around with my cameras and trying to get different angles to see if I can make anything work a bit better for you all. Alison saying crafting. My boyfriend says I am a hell of a badass genius with all my cards. Fab. Painting using watercolour pencils. Thea's saying, wow, we've all been doing diverse things, haven't we? Painting, crocheting, watching TV, doing nothing. Brilliant. Is Patty H on here tonight? If anybody sees her, let me know. Let me just turn the volume down on my devices. Hi Tanya. Okay, so I've got another little trick for you today. Hi Ellen. Oh, you're packing to move. Oh dear, that's always a bit of a stressful thing to do, isn't it? Right, so what was I going to say? I've got another bit of a technique for you today for cutting out stamped images. I think one of the most asked questions I get in messages to me over various social media is how to cut stamped images. Now I did do a video on this I've just had to go and look it up actually. Hi Pat, I did do a video on this in September last year, so nearly a year ago, and I used a different technique where I showed you how to join up the letters using a pencil in order to make the ScanNCut recognise the outline, so that you could cut an outline around like something like this where you've got two words, or where you've got something like this where you've got all completely separated letters. But in playing around with the machine, I've discovered that you can do it another way. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Now obviously, you know, you choose how you prefer to do it, but it's a different way of doing it without having to draw anything, and I just thought I'd pass on the technique. Hi Lisa. But before I do, I've purchased a new mat this week, and I don't know whether it's just me or has anybody noticed these in the mats before? Because I don't think I ever have, unless I just don't take any notice. But I've just purchased a new standard mat, and in the mat came this, and it's basically just a guide. And this is another thing that I'm asked quite a lot. What mat do I use for what media? So as I say, I've just purchased an SDX standard tack mat, and this has come with it, and basically it gives you all different ideas and gram weight and which mat to use. You may all know about this, but as I say, I don't recall seeing it in previous mats. I'm going to have to turn it around so I can read it, but basically it's in various languages, and at the top under the English section it says the appropriate use for each type of mat is indicated in the following table. And then it says printer paper, and then obviously it gives it you in all different languages, and it says 80 grams or 0.1 milli, and it says to use the low tack mat. Then it says scrapbook paper thin, again low tack mat. Scrapbook paper medium thick, you can use the standard mat, or there's against the low tack mat it says asterisk and number 1, and when you go down near the bottom and look for asterisk and number 1, it says when cutting smooth paper. So if it's scrapbook paper medium thick and it's smooth, you can use either mat by the look of it. Then it says cardstock thin, and again if it's smooth you can use the low tack or you can use the standard, and it just goes on. Vellum, it's saying to use the low tack mat, which I kind of suppose makes sense. Poster board thin, you could use either. Poster board thick, it's saying use the standard, and it just goes on. And this was just in the back of my brand new mat that I've just purchased from Maker's Superstore this week. So Lisa's saying no, I had to print one out. Alison Morgan's saying didn't have that with the mats from Amazon. Okay, well this is a mat I purchased from Maker Superstore this week, and it's just, as I say, in the packaging. I don't know whether it's something that they've started doing that's new or whether you all know about it, but there it is. So I just thought I'd mention it. So I'm going to put that on one side. Hi Mandy G, yes I'm well, thank you. Don't worry about being late, I'm literally only just starting. Alan is saying, is it possible to scan that mat instruction sheet and put it on your website? I'll try, Alan, yeah, I'll see if I can. It's bigger than A4 and it's bigger than 12 by 12, but I'll see what I can do, certainly, yeah. Hi Rose Lily. Yeah, all fine here, thank you. Charlotte's saying very useful. Where did you print it from, Lisa? Alison Morgan, yeah, very useful. Alice Wynn, hi everyone, just arrived to purchase. Just arrived, just purchased new mat, not in there. Okay, where did you get your mat from, Alice? So Ellen's saying hi, Ashley. I think that does that mean you got one with your mat? Yeah, I'll try and take a photo, or I'll try and scan it and see which comes out the best, Alan, don't worry. I'll try and do that later. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll put it on the help and information section of the website under the ScanNCut tab. Lisa's saying can't remember website, sorry. Karen is saying hi from Colorado Springs. Hi, Karen. You got yours from Amazon, okay. Well, this is just the mat that I purchased. It's just the regular SDX mat, 12 by 12, and mine was from Makers. So Butterfly is saying that you got the reference guide with your machine, okay. I vaguely recall thinking I got something, but I don't remember ever seeing one with the mats, and that's why I just thought I'd point it out, because I've literally just unpacked this mat today and found it in the back. And as I say, I don't remember seeing it in previous mats, so maybe it's something that they're doing that's new. I'm not sure. Right, okay, so I'll show you what I've done so far, and then I'll show you how I did it. So these are all hand stamped images, and what I've done, I've kept the card to show you how, in fact I think that goes that way around, to show you how that it came out. That was from there, that one was from there, and then this one is from here. Okay, and then this is another one I've done this afternoon, because I actually worked this technique out a few weeks ago, and then when I came to do it today I couldn't remember, but fortunately I'd made some notes, so that's always handy. But not sure how well you can see this, but this is literally just a hand stamped image. Some of the text is joined up, but some of the words are not, and using the technique it's put a border around it and cut it out for me. This is another one. Oh, hang on, I have to learn to go the opposite way. Everything's back to front. So that's another one. This is one I've done this afternoon, or this morning, sorry. And there's another one. So let me just put all these on one side. And then to save a bit of time, I've actually done some stamping already. So let me just put these in that bag out of the way. So I'm going to start with this small section first. Mandy's saying, oh, a clean mat, I know. Is there a difference between the mats of the SDX and the Disney machine? Are they the same? Jenny, all the DX or SDX mats are the same. You just can't use the CM mats with a DX or SDX machine. So Alison's saying maybe it's only for the DX machines. I have got a CM900. So Lisa's saying run a Google search, it should come up. Looks lovely, looks lovely. Right, okay, so I'm just going to bring in this new mat and I'm going to put the stamped images just near the bottom. And the only reason I'm putting it near the bottom is just to make it easier for me when the mat's coming in and out of the machine. So I'm just going to stick this down. I'm not going to press it too hard because it's obviously a brand new sticky mat. So I'm going to load this into the machine. I'm just going to switch views. So the first thing I'm just looking to see if there's any other comments I've missed. Don't seem to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to scan on the machine. And then I'm going to do scan to cut data, not direct cut. Okay, so scan to cut data and start. And I'm just going to have to get my mat at the back because I've got an arm on I've got a camera on a different arm today to see if this is any better. And that doesn't want to stick where I took that out earlier, so hopefully it will. So I'm going to come to outline. The sun keeps going in and out. Hopefully you can see. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit more for you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut just one of the words first of all, just to show you that you can do them individually or hopefully as a group. So I'm going to drag in the isolation handles and just go for the next set of stamped words I've got on this piece of card, and I'm just going to drag in the handles as close as I can get. Let me just see if I can take the glare down a bit. And I'm going to say preview. And then I'm going to say OK. I'm going to save the scan into the machine. And I'm going to say OK, and it's saved it as file 155. So I'm going to now hit the home button and say yes, it's OK to delete all the patterns. And then I'm going to go to retrieve data to the machine because that's where I saved the scan to cut data. I'm just going to jump to the last page, and here is file 155. I'm going to say OK. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is go into Edit, and I'm going to select the 3 red boxes because I want the machine to pick up all these little bits, because basically what it's done, it's put an outline around all my different words that make up this stamped image. But that's not what I want. I actually want an outline around the whole thing. So I'm going to say select everything, so use the box on the right hand side, the one with the square, the triangle and the circle. That's going to put little red lines around everything. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. I'll try and zoom in. I'll try and zoom to 200% and see if you can see it any better. Let me just move it along. I'm not moving the stamped image on the mat, I'm just moving the screen in the hope that you can see it better. I'm at 400%. You should be able to see there are red boxes around the different elements of this stamped image, and that's what I want. So I'm going to say OK. So with everything selected, I'm going to say OK. I'm going to go to Object Edit, and I'm going to group them all. And this is the important bit. If you don't group them, it won't work. So now, from here, I'm going to say OK, so they're a group. I'm still not moving them because obviously if I move them, they're not going to cut in the right place on my piece of card that's on my mat. I don't know if you're all following, but I am going to do this a few times, so don't worry. So now, with them all grouped, I'm going to go to Object Edit, and I'm going to go to the offset icon. I'm going to leave my offset as 0.06, but you can make yours bigger if you want. And I'm going to say OK. Now the bit that's selected is the original stamped image, so if I drag that out of the way, if I can get hold of it, in fact I'm going to have to go back because I've got the wrong bit, so let's just go back again. Let's see if we can undo. Okay, I want to get the original word, so I'm just using the arrows, and then I'm going to drag them out of the way. Hopefully I'll keep getting the wrong bit. Okay, let's try this. Let's say OK. No, I'm going to have to go back. Sorry, hang on. There we go. So the bits I'm dragging away are the original outline from the stamped image, and I'm going to hit the trash and get rid of those. And then on my screen I'll try and zoom in again to show you what I've got. So what I'm left with are all the outlined elements, and that's what I want, not the original stamped outline, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to go to Object Edit. Now you have to ungroup them, so you have to group your original stamped image to be able to apply the offset, but then to do the next part you've got to ungroup the offset, because otherwise the weld icon isn't activated. So these are all the offsets, so if I ungroup them it will still leave them all selected, but they're just not grouped. And now I can hit weld, and it can say OK, and it can say OK again, and OK, and more OKs, and then I'm going to go to select and cut, and let's see what we get. Now the results vary depending on the offset you use. So I just use the default 0.06, which is the default for ScanNCut data. But you may have to play around with this and see for your own personal, usage. But we'll see what we get with this. So I'm going to say start. And I've just seen that Angel said I'm late. Don't worry about it, Angel, it's fine. It's always recorded, so you should be able to catch up. But I've not... My machine's making some funny noises today. I don't know what's going on. Don't know whether I've got something stuck in it or not. So I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to... Now I can see straight away that it's not picked up, so the offset wasn't big enough, but not to worry. We can do another one. I'm going to unload the mat, and I'm just going to flip you back and then try and just get this cut out from on here without moving everything else. So this, what it's done with this one, I've not used a big enough offset because it's got most of it but not all of it. Now when I did it, I think I've done it with the same stamp. Earlier, I must have used a slightly bigger offset. So like I say, you have to play with it, but it does work without you having to draw in the lines. So we'll keep going and we'll do some more. I'm going to cut this off. The other thing is as well, because I'm sat at a funny angle, to be perfectly honest, I can't see properly what the outline is doing on the machine. So if I'd have spotted that, I could have took the offset bigger. Do you know, Alan, it's funny, I cut something the other day and I got, I was testing a file for somebody. It was awful. It was an SVG file and it was all being ripped to shreds, and I think there might be something stuck in the machine somewhere, because I noticed this morning when I was cutting out this other stamped image that it was making a noise then. But I really don't know whether there's anything stuck in the machine or not. Let me just see if I can give it a blow and see if anything comes out. Can't see anything underneath it, but maybe I'm going to have a good look at it later. So let's try another one and see. So I'm going to hit the home button on the machine. Let me flip you back. I'm going to say yes, it's okay to delete all patterns, and I'm going to load them out. I'm going to come back to scan to cut data, and I'm going to try and cut the happy, which is on here. So I'm going to press start. I'm just going to move my machine forward a little bit just to stop the mat. Okay, then I'm going to take it back for you. Not got you on the right. Has the camera gone funny? I think I've lost the camera. Let me just plug this. I don't think it needs plugging in, but I'm going to plug it in just in case it's the battery, because I think I lost the camera then. Okay, right. Right, let me see what you're saying. So Alan's saying, sounds like you've got a gremlin. I definitely think I have. I can hear a fan running in your background. It's the man down the road, believe it or not, that has some land behind us cutting the grass on one of those sit-on lawnmowers. But it's so warm, and the room I craft in is a big glass roofed room that I can't keep the door closed. I melt, so I've got the door open. Caroline's saying, wow, once again you're the bomb. Well, it hasn't worked yet, Caroline, but it has been working, but we'll see what happens. I had some masking tape stuck in mine the other day. Oh no. Are you sure your front bar is in? Are you sure your front bar is in its position? That's what mine did. Yeah, I've not touched the bar at all. It seems to be, as I say, somebody sent me an SVG file, and it was an awful file, and I decided to try and cut it for them to see, because they were having problems with it and I had some problems with it, and bits of the card were all coming out in the machine, and since then it's been making that funny noise. But as I say, I've not used it much, but I cut that stamped image this morning and it was doing it then. So we'll persevere, we'll crack on, and I'll see if I've got a hair in there. We'll see how we go, and then I might have to have a good look and see if there's anything stuck in there. Right, so I'm going to do outline again. I'm going to drag in the handles and try and isolate this happy. I'm only doing one at a time just to make it a little bit easier. And I'm going to say preview. I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to save it to the machine. I'm going to try the 0.06 again and see at the angle I'm sat at if it looks okay, but if it doesn't, I'm going to take the offset up on this one. So this one's saved in 156. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to hit the home button, say yes, it's okay to delete everything. I'm going to get to retrieve data from the machine. Just going to jump to the last page and go to file 156. I don't know, Vicky, I'm going to have a look and see. I don't want to do it now because obviously I've got all the cameras set up. I'll have a look later though, but thank you. Now this one, I don't know whether this has picked up the word or not at all. So I'm going to say okay. I'm going to get to edit, object edit. No, need to go back, sorry. I'm going to go to the 3 red boxes, select everything. And I can see vaguely this one's not, I don't think this is picking anything up. I really can't see at the angle I'm sat at, but we'll persevere and see. And I'm going to say okay, object edit and group. Now I'm going to come to offset, and I'm going to make the offset a little bit bigger, I think. Because, as I say, the angle that I'm sat at, I really can't see whether it's picked up all the word or not. To be honest, I'm not even sure if it's picked up the happy. I'm going to say okay, drag, yeah, I keep getting the wrong thing, so I need to go okay and undo. I'm going to use the arrows to get the bits in the first bits, the ones that I want to get rid of. Drag them out of the way. I keep getting the outside, not the inside. Oh my word. Maybe I should have started with a bigger word. It's not easy when you sat quite far away from the screen. Let me see if I can do it by nudging them out of the way. There you go, that's better. Say okay, delete them because I don't want them. And then I'm going to say object edit, ungroup and weld and see what we've got. Say this one might not work as well. This might not have cut all the word because I actually can't see properly, but we'll see what happens and then we'll try one of the bigger ones. Hopefully I can show you that it does work. Okay, okay, and cut. Just going to move the machine forward a little bit for the mat going through the back. Just while that's cutting, if I flip you back, just to show you that it does work, because these are ones I cut a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, that one's worked. These were all just hand stamped images done with this same technique. Okay, let me put them away. That's for anybody that may have come in late. So I'm just going to move the machine out of the way, unload the mat. And let's try and pop this word off. There you go. Is it upside down? Hang on, it's upside down. So this was a 0.07 offset. Okay, which was, the other one was 0.06. But as I say, it's probably that because I just couldn't see the screen enough. If I'd have seen it on the other word, I could have made the offset slightly bigger and then it would have worked. Yeah, it's what it's done, this little extra bit, it's picked up just a mark off the mat, I think. But this is the whole, sorry, that's the whole word, happy. No, what you have to do, Karen, you have to group it all to create the offset. Then you drag the original away and delete it, and then the offset you ungroup it and then weld it. Yeah, it did. Right, so let's do it with one of the bigger ones, because you might be able to see better with one of the bigger words. Let me just try and get this off this very sticky new mat. Now what you could do, in fact, before we do anything else, let's try this. If I put, let's get rid of that stray bit. If I put another piece of card roughly where I can see where the word was, I'm going to put a piece of card on there. Just give me 1 minute because I've got a hair on my mat. Get rid of that hair. Let's flip you back to the machine. I'm going to load this mat back in. I'm going to go, let's see what we can do. Can we go back? Yeah, I'm going to go back. So I've not moved the offset at all. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to object edit. No. I'm going to go get rid of that little stray bit there that I don't need. Send that to the bin. So I've only got the offset of the word happy. I'm going to go to Object Edit, Offset. Now I did 0.07 on this one. So I'm going to do 0.08. Say OK. Make sure I've got the middle bit, the first bit. Delete. And now I should have the 0.08 on the mat. So let's say OK, OK, select and cut. And if I've dragged the right piece away, we should get an offset of the offset. It's sounding a bit better now it's going in and out, isn't it? I wonder if there was something stuck in there and when I blew it, it cleared it. Let's unload this. And just close that up to give me some room. I'm turning the mat over because obviously it's a new one and it's very sticky, and that generally helps you peel things away easier. So now this should be the 0.08. If I put it on my hand flat in the hope that you can see it. Let's try and get it. There we go. What about that? So long as you don't unload your mat, you can go back to the design and create an offset of your offset. So I'm just reading what so Vicky's saying, when you try to drag it, grabs the larger image, i.e. the outline, arrows work better. Yeah, that's what I'm discovering, Vicky, thank you. Caroline's saying, you read my mind, I wanted an offset. Oh, just blown it off. Hang on, let me put it back on there while I see what you're saying. Jenny's saying, cleaning the scanner glass on the SDX via YouTube, it shows how to take off the bottom of the machine. Yeah, there's a door, Jenny, on the bottom of your machine that enables you to clean the scanner glass. But with me, it's not the glass. I think there was a bit of card or something stuck in there, which I think just with giving it a blow now, it seems to sound better. It sounds normal. you know, as if it's going through properly. So hopefully that's resolved it. So that's that one. So let's put that one there. So let's try a bigger one in the hope that you can see this better. So I'm going to stick this on here. Just swap you again. I'm going to load you in. See, it's sounding better now, isn't it, than it did before? I'm going to go home, OK to delete all patterns. OK, so remember it's scan and it's scan to cut data, not direct cut. Doing it this way. If you draw the adjoining lines in with a pencil, like I showed in the video nearly a year ago, you can use direct cut because it should pick up a complete outline. But without having to mess about drawing in lines, this is an alternative way. So it's just however you want to make it work. Just going to drag the machine forward a little bit while the mat goes through the back. Making sure you can see. Okay, so again, I'll do outline. I'm going to drag the arrows just to select that first big word, the thank you, that's two separate words. That's just letting the machine know that this is the bit I want it to pick up. And I'm going to say preview. And I think it looks okay, so I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to save it into the machine. So it's saved it to 157 is the file number. So I'm going to hit the home button, say yes, it's okay to delete. I'm going to go to retrieve data into the machine. I'm going to jump to the last page and go to file 157. And there's my word. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to get to edit. You need to select everything. So you need the 3 red boxes and then the box on the right hand side which selects everything on your mat. You say OK. You go to Object Edit and you make it a group. If you don't make it a group, I've found it won't let you do the offset. So now it's a group. I can go to Offset. I'm going to make this one 0.07, I think. And I'm going to say OK. I'm going to try and drag the original words out of the way. This time I've been able to get them, so I don't want them. So I'm going to say OK, send them to the rubbish. Now I've got the thank and the you. I'm going to go to Object Edit, Ungroup. You'll see you've got all these elements, all bits of red showing around all the different letters, and I'm going to weld. And that is hopefully going to give me the outline. Now it doesn't look quite right, so I'm going to say cancel, and I'm going to group them again, and I'm going to go to offset, and I'm going to make the offset a little bit bigger. So this is the offset of the offset, if that makes sense. I'm going to say OK, drag that out of the way, delete it, go to Object Edit, Ungroup and Weld, and see if it looks any better. And it looks better now this time. I could see here there was a bit that it wanted to cut out. So I'm going to say OK to weld, OK, 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 select and cut. So let me see what you're saying. So you could do the same with a foiled word. Not sure what you mean, but hi Janita. So let me flip you back, unload this mat. To try and peel this away. I'll take the whole thing off, I think. This mat is so sticky and the card is sticking real good to it. Let me turn this round and see if I can get this off. Just need to get a little bit of air under it and then it pops off. So there we go. Now, as I say, in the video I did a year ago, the way I showed you how to do this was to put little pencil lines joining each of these individual letters together and then joining the two words together all the way around. And doing it that way usually helps you to be able to get an outline around it, but without having to faff around doing the drawing in, doing it this way does work. You just need to be able to see when you put your offset on it. You just need to be, you'll have a better view when you're looking at your machine. I'm looking at mine on a funny angle and it's at a distance away from me, but it does work. So now I can see where that word was on this mat. So if I scrape away, see if I've got another piece of card that's big enough. Where was it? It was there. So I'm going to put that piece of card over where it was on this mat. Load this mat back in. Swap you over again. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to go back. I'm going to load the mat. And then I'm going to select the offset again and I'm going to get to Edit, Object Edit, and apply an offset to the offset. And we'll just try 0.06 and see what happens. So I'm going to say OK and then see if I can drag that one out of the way. Say OK, send it to the rubbish, and then this should be the offset of the offset. OK, OK, select and cut. And start. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to have a quick drink. So Barbara's saying, can you send across sentiments from Canvas Workspace as a draw file and then do this to cut out? Yeah, I would think so, because you're only going to scan the word again, aren't you? So let's unload, flip you back, bend the mat to try and get this off. And there you go, got bits of card all over. Look at that. Try and put it on my hand to keep it still. So by scanning the word and using outline and ScanNCut data, you save your outline scan to your machine, then you call it back up. You make it all a group using the red boxes. Then you can apply your offset. Then you drag your original scan out of the way and delete it. ungroup your offset and weld. And then if you don't remove the design on your screen, once you've cut it, you can just load your mat with another piece of card and add another offset and create an offset. And you could keep going. I could put another piece of coloured card on and add another offset to this offset. So does that make sense? So Sandra's saying, wow, so need to try this, thanks. Love how it works. Vicky's saying, if you are starting in Canvas, set up the draw and offset to a cut line all in Canvas. Okay. And then you'd have your outline ready. Yeah, that's a good idea, Vicky. And then when you bring it in, you could do the offset of the outline, couldn't you? But this is, whoever asked me the question, who asked me the question? Barbara. This was a way of doing this all directly on the machine without having to use Canvas. Yeah, it's picked it up on the white element, but because I made the offset bigger on the red, it's not picked the little cutout in the middle. But you know, that's how you play around with it and see which offset works for whatever word you're using. So for instance, on these, wherever they are, if you look how tiny this font is, I think this was a 0.07 offset. I can't remember, as I say, because I cut all these originally well over a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago, and I put them all in this plastic bag with some instructions to remind me. And then this morning when I went to cut that other one, the one I showed you before, this one, I couldn't remember how to do it. So it was a good job I'd made myself my instructions. What I forgot was that you have to group everything to apply the offset. That's the kind of important step. And then once you've got the offset, you drag the scan out of the way and your offset will be in bits, if you like, because it creates the offset around what it sees. And then you ungroup it to be able to weld it. And then all the bits that all overlap all weld as one unit. So, yeah. So there's, so what do we think? Pretty good technique for doing directly on the machine, I think. I've lost the yellow one. Oh, it's up there, isn't it? There we go, let's get this one in so you can see. Caroline's saying, I love how professionally accurate it is. Yeah, when you're actually doing it on your own machine and you're over the screen, you'll see better. You'll be able to zoom in and see what, you know, the default 0.06 offset is going to look like. And if it doesn't look like it's, you know, gone round all your individual words properly, then just make the offset bigger. And then you won't have the problem that I had when I did, wherever it is, the one I did first of all earlier on, that one that cut into the words. That was because I literally couldn't see the offset properly. Tanya's saying, can this be done on the CM300? Mine's packed, so can't check. As long as you've got the offset facility, Tanya, you should be able to do it. Lynn, don't worry, it's fine. Janet, pardon me, who is Ashley? Did I miss someone in the comments? Janet, I'm Ashley. I'm not sure what you mean. Teresa's saying it makes you use it. Bonnie's saying Janet Phelps Ashley is the one on the screen teaching us. Okay. Vicky's saying, bye all, have to take my dog out before a client comes. The dog is starting to boil over. No problem, Vicky. See you soon. Take care. Yeah, just have a go and have a play and see what happens. So I've still not seen Patty H making any comments on here today. So did anybody see her? Don't know if she's here. Let me just turn all these around and then you can see what I've been doing better. Yeah? And these are just all a variety of hand stamped images from Stampin' Up! Stamps. But this should work if you had some printed text. This should work the same. So if you printed a saying on your printer onto card and then scanned it through, this same thing should work. So you should be able to print your own greetings onto some card and scan them through the machine and do the same thing. It doesn't have to be hand stamped images, but this is the one thing I get asked about the most, how to cut out hand stamped images. Right, Caroline's saying, I'm grateful you show us so oopsies, as that's inevitable, then carry on. Yeah, it happens to us all, doesn't it? Oh, Janet's saying, sorry, did not know your name. Apologies. It's fine, Janet, don't worry. Tony's saying, something I will definitely try. So thank you, Ashley, for your tutorial. You're welcome. Marcia, by all must feed hubs. Thanks, Ashley. Very informative as usual. You're welcome, Marcia. Did you stamp them sentiments or did you print them? Bonnie, I stamped these. These are all hand stamped images from these Stampin' Up! Stamps, and there's another one somewhere which I've probably put away, but that's what I'm saying, Bonnie. You could print them on a computer onto some, say, nice white card, whatever card will go through your printer, and do exactly the same thing. So if you've not got stamps, you can make your own sentiments by printing them. Hi Tristan, hope you're well. What have you been up to, Tristan? It may work with foiled words, Jenny. It depends whether the scan will pick up the outline of the foiling. So you'd need to try it and see. Teresa's saying, or even use newspapers. I've obviously missed something there because I don't know what that means. Charlotte's saying, a friend has a cupcake stamp and it keeps cutting off the top of the cupcake. I wonder if this technique might work if she's okay with an offset. Yeah, probably. Try it and see, Charlotte. Alison, I did an offset on my latest card, but from Sweet 16 on the machine. Okay. Ideal to type and print, just have to remember to leave plenty of line space in between. Yeah, definitely. That's why when where is my stamps, if you notice, I left a gap in between on them, because obviously when you start putting an offset around them, you don't then want that to interfere with the next one. But there's also, you know, you could multiple stamp. I've just shown you doing it one at a time, but you can scan multiples and do the same principle. But printing would be great if you can, whatever is the thickest card you can put through your printer, just type yourself some, greetings and print them out and then use this same technique. Alice, you're welcome. Oh, I know this COVID is still keeping everybody in isolation, isn't it? Some of us are back at work. I've gone back to work. But I know a lot of people are still with words of a newspaper. You could try it, Teresa. If you wanted to cut out words from a newspaper, you could try it. Charlotte Keller saying, thanks. Cutting is bunching up. Does blade need sharpening or replaced? It depends, Alice. It could be a mixture of your blade. What machine have you got, Alice? Just remind me again, sorry. Sandra's saying so many fonts to print too, thanks very much. Yeah, that's what I mean. Once you've got all the different fonts on your machine, you could print your own greetings, print them onto some decent card and try the same principle. But the let me just find a bit of paper. So I've got all scribbled up notes on here. So it's ScanNCut data, outline, save to machine. Then call up the design, select all and group. Once it's a group, add your offset depending on what you see on your screen. So if you do 0.06, which is the minimum offset when you do ScanNCut data, when you're looking directly at your machine, if it doesn't look right, make your offset bigger. Once you've got your offset, drag your original scanned image away and delete it. Then go back to the offset that's on your mat, ungroup it and weld. And then when you weld it, it will show you how it looks. And if you think it all looks okay at that point, say yes. If not, cancel the weld, go back and make your offset bigger until you're happy with the offset around your word or words. And then once it's welded, you send it to cut and that's it. And this is the result that you get. The DX125, okay, so you've got auto blade technology. So possibly it could be that your mat isn't sticky enough, so the card isn't stuck to the mat properly, or it could be a blade issue. You could try sharpening your blade. I'm not sure what you mean by bunching. Do you mean it's kind of dragging the card? Because on the DX models, it's auto blade. You shouldn't really have that. So I would say if that's the case, then it's either going to be the card that you're using. Some cards are very fibrous and they don't cut very well. It could be the card isn't stuck to the mat properly, or it could be the blade. So it could be any one of a combination of things. Yeah, Rose Lily's saying it could also be the mat. Yeah. Definitely, Barbara. Yeah, give it a go and see. So Alice is saying, yes, it's a new mat. Well, if it's a new mat, then it's either the blade or the type of card that you're trying to cut, or maybe the design. If the design is too intricate and it's too small, the blade hasn't got enough of a turning circle to cut, and then it could be making a mess of the design. And that was one of the problems with the SVG file I was trying to cut for somebody the other day. It was very intricate, very small, and it was just literally making a mess on the mat. And I think that's what I must have got in my machine, some stray bits of card. But I think by the sounds of it now, since I've blown at it, it seems to be loading, you know, my mat's loading fine without that noise. So I think maybe I've resolved it, but I'll see how that goes. So yeah, it could be a combination of things, and you've just got to try and work out, unfortunately, Alice, which one of the combination it is that's causing you the problem. So Sheila's saying, now I know why my stamped image was cut in twice. I wasn't removing the original. Yeah, on the DX machine, Sheila, when you apply the offset, it gives you an offset of the original, so you have to drag it away. That's right. On the CM models from memory, it doesn't. I think you just get the offset of what was there, but on the DX models, you get the original and the offset. Okay, Rachel, you're fine. Okay, has anybody got any last questions? It's 6 o'clock. Mandy G, you're welcome. I have a quick drink of my juice and then see if anybody's got any last questions, and then I'm going to go and get some food. Alice, what card were you using? Same to you, Bonnie, thank you. Same to you, Pat, yeah. Jenny, you're welcome. Charlotte, I will once I try this. Lois, you're welcome. Rose, if you're doing this technique, you have to drag the original away so that you're just left with the offset. But like I say, on the CM models, I can't remember because I've sold my 900, but on the CM models, when you do an offset, I don't think the original stays there, so you don't have to drag it away. Because there's nothing to drag away, you've just got your offset. And then all as you do with that is you just weld it, ungroup it and weld it. But with the CM model, if you just want to have an offset, you need to get rid of the original, else it'll cut the original and it'll cut your offset and you'll just be left with like a skinny frame. Lynn, you're welcome, it's fine. It was just a new technique I was showing how to do directly on the machine without having to put any drawn lines or anything in. Alison Morgan, you're welcome. Same to you, keep safe. Would you show, so Bonnie's saying, would you show the 2 Stampin' Up sentiment sets that you're using? Yeah. So the first one is this, Bonnie. It's called A Wish for Everything. It's a double set. And I used the, it's on here somewhere. This one, that one. And then I used the Happy. And then the other one is from a different stamp set. Let me just see if I can find it. This one, Bonnie, is the thank you and the so grateful and the thanks. So this is ornate thanks. Susan, you're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Tony. I love this video. Just bought new stamp pad in USA. Don't want a teacher, just you. Sad face. Oh. Well, I do private lessons, Alice. I do one-to-one lessons on Zoom. All the details are on my website if you want any one-to-one lessons. So Rose Lily's saying, I have a DX125. Do I need to do this for all offset items? Yeah, if you've got the DX, when it gives you the offset, the original will stay there, so you drag it away. Alice, it doesn't matter where you live for the online classes because they're all done by Zoom, so that you can be anywhere in the world. I did one the other day with a lady in the US, and I'm doing one this week with another lady in the US. Sheila, you're welcome. Right, so you've got all the stamp details. And Alice, if you want to buy the stamps, you can buy them from a demo near you. Right, doesn't seem to be any last questions, so I think we'll say goodbye for this week. Rose, you're welcome, thank you. Thanks, Sheila. Alice, if you go to my website, applelover53.co.uk, go to the ScanNCut page and you'll see online classes, all the information's there, and then there's also a book online as well underneath. But you can message me first if you want to chat to me before you book anything. Right, I'm going. Doesn't appear to be any more questions, so I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say keep safe to everybody, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.